I never thought I'd be talking about biblical gifts and modern gold rushes in the same video, but here we are. Today I'm diving into a story that spans millennia, from the gifts of the three wise men to a contemporary crisis threatening ancient traditions. In the mountains of Somaliland, a gold rush is putting the production of frankincense and myrrh, yes, those same fragrances mentioned in the Bible, at serious risk. It's a tale of history, economics, and environmental concern that I can't wait to share with you. Frankincense and myrrh aren't just fancy-sounding words from Christmas carols. They're aromatic resins that have been prized for thousands of years. Extracted from trees in the genus Boswellia and Comifera respectively, these resins have played crucial roles in religious ceremonies, medicine and perfumery across various civilizations. What's fascinating is that the region that produces some of the world's finest frankincense and myrrh, the mountains of Somaliland, is the same area now experiencing a gold rush. This overlap is creating a conflict between ancient traditions and modern economic pressures that's reshaping the landscape, both literally and figuratively. The importance of frankincense and myrrh goes back millennia. For over 5,000 years, these aromatic resins were transported along what's known as the incense route. This network of trade routes connected the Arabian Peninsula to the Mediterranean world, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. The Nabateans, an ancient Arab people, were key players in this trade. They built elaborate cities like Petra in modern-day Jordan, which served as crucial stops along the incense road. The demand for frankincense and myrrh in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, and Rome made this trade incredibly lucrative, shaping the economies and politics of the entire region for centuries. Fast forward to today, and you'd be surprised to learn that frankincense and myrrh are far from relics of the past. These resins are still in high demand, used in everything from religious ceremonies to aromatherapy and high-end perfumes. The global market for frankincense alone is estimated to be worth around $400 million annually, according to recent market research. For the communities in Somaliland, this trade isn't just about preserving tradition, it's a vital part of the local economy. An estimated 10,000 families depend on harvesting and selling these resins for their livelihoods. It's a sustainable practice that's been passed down through generations.
This is our way of life. We care for these trees as our ancestors did, and they provide for us.
In the past decade, significant gold deposits have been discovered in the same mountains where frankincense and myrrh trees grow. This discovery has sparked a gold rush, with both local prospectors and international mining companies flocking to the area in search of riches. On the surface, this might seem like an economic boon for the region. After all, gold is one of the most valuable commodities in the world, with prices hovering around $1,000 to $800 per ounce. But the reality is far more complex. The rush for gold is threatening to upend the delicate balance that has allowed the frankincense and myrrh trade to thrive for millennia. I want to explain why this gold rush is so problematic. Gold mining, especially when done hastily and without proper regulations, can be incredibly destructive to the environment. The process often involves clearing large areas of land, which in this case means cutting down the very trees that produce frankincense and myrrh. Moreover, the use of mercury and other chemicals in gold extraction can pollute soil and water sources, further damaging the ecosystem. The frankincense and myrrh trees are particularly vulnerable to these changes. They're slow-growing and adapted to specific environmental conditions. Once destroyed, it can take decades for these trees to regrow, if they can regrow at all in the altered landscape. This means that the short-term gains from gold mining could lead to the long-term destruction of a sustainable, centuries-old industry. The environmental impact of this gold rush extends far beyond just these trees, affecting the entire ecosystem of the region. To understand the full scope of this issue, we need to consider the political context. The area where this is happening is disputed territory between Somaliland, a self-declared republic seeking independence, and Puntland, an autonomous region of Somalia. This lack of clear governance has created a power vacuum that's being exploited by various groups, including extremist organizations. The gold rush has intensified these territorial disputes. Both Somaliland and Puntland claim the right to control and benefit from the gold mining operations. This has led to increased military presence in the area and occasional armed conflicts. Traditional authorities who have long managed the frankincense and myrrh trade are finding themselves caught in the middle of these power struggles. The situation is complex and volatile, with no easy solutions in sight. I've observed that the gold rush isn't just an environmental issue, it's reshaping the entire social and economic fabric of the region. The promise of quick riches from gold mining is luring many away from traditional occupations, including frankincense and myrrh harvesting. This shift is disrupting communities and eroding traditional knowledge that's been passed down for generations. Moreover, the influx of miners and money has led to inflation in local economies. The gold has brought some opportunities, yes, but at what cost? Our way of life is changing so fast. Prices for everything have gone up, and many of our young people no longer want to learn the traditional ways of harvesting frankincense, making life more difficult for those not involved in gold mining. There are also reports of increased crime rates and social problems associated with the rapid changes. All of this is happening in a region already dealing with challenges like drought and political instability. The gold rush presents a complex dilemma, balancing short-term economic gains against long-term environmental and cultural sustainability. You might be wondering how this affects the rest of the world. This region produces some of the highest quality resins in the world, impacting industries from medicine to luxury perfumes, with Somaliland accounting for up to 40% of the global frankincense trade. Any disruption here could send shockwaves through the international market. So what can be done? I believe the solution lies in finding a balance. This could involve implementing strict regulations, creating protected areas, and investing in sustainable harvesting practices. International cooperation will be crucial, both in terms of conflict resolution and in recognizing the global importance of preserving this unique ecosystem and trade. As we've seen, the Somali Gold Rush represents a critical juncture where ancient traditions collide with modern economic pressures. The choices made in the coming years will determine the fate of not just the frankincense and myrrh trade, but also the communities and ecosystems that have sustained it for millennia. It's a reminder that in our interconnected world, local issues can have global repercussions, and that preserving our shared heritage is a responsibility we all bear.